Paul George? But is he even going to hit free agency? So the Paperclips, we've gone through their saga. They had Kawhi Leonard. He was going to be free agent, and they said, we're not giving you the max. We'll give you a little less than the max. Kawhi quickly gave up his John Hancock signature. Paul George said, whoa, I'm a max guy, bro. Show me the money. Clippers said, no, you're never healthy. Sorry. And Paul George is then like looking around. And as we articulated Monday, he's been looking for leverage. He's been trying to use the Sixers. He tried to bluff basically with a 2-9 offsuit, a.k.a. the Orlando Magic. Clippers are not biting. Now he's putting on the full court press. Golden State Warriors. I want to play with Steph Curry. That's the new thing. Paul George is emptying the chamber with options so that the Clippers show him the money. This is where it gets interesting. Let's say Paul George stays with the Clippers. He just capitulates and says, I love LA. Well, we're going to be healthy. We're going to win a chip. We're taking down Bron and Bronny. This is our city. We got the new stadium, blah, blah. It's not their city. It never will be. You get the point. What's the trickle down if Paul George stays with the Paperclips? Because the Philadelphia 76ers, folks, are a fascinating story, okay? And yes, I lived outside Philly for, 6 or 7 years. You know what happens. We were in New York City. You get hitched, and then eventually you decide you're ready to have kids, so you want to move to the burbs. You kind of move close-ish to the in-laws. The New Jersey taxes stink, so we moved right across the border to PA, and we're outside Philly. Didn't go into Philly a ton. It was a nice city. So I've never been a huge Sixers fan. I'm not the biggest Joel Embiid fan. I'm not a hater. I don't think he's amazing. I'm sorry. Joel Embiid is a max spot on his team. It's him, Tyrese Maxey, and enter max player here. Daryl Morey, who's putting all this together, he's been on the show, he is a star hunter. Okay? Going back to his Houston days, who could we pair with Yao Ming? Get me Dwight Howard. Get me James Harden. He built those Rockets team to challenge the KD Warriors, and they pushed him. Get me whoever I can. I need stars. That's what Daryl Morey wants. He's always hunted stars. Ben Simmons. They got Joel Embiid. They one time, they had Jimmy Butler end up losing. Morey likes stars. What if there's no stars to get in free agency because Paul George stays with the Clippers? What's plan B? And I ask that because, and yes, I've been driving this a little, and I gave the Philly backstory because Sixers fans think I hate the team. What happens if Joel Embiid doesn't get a good running mate? He looks around and says, well, geez, the Celtics just won the title. The Knicks re-signed Anunoby, and they got Mikal Bridges. Pacers kept Siakam. They're going to be good. Cavs are likely keeping Donovan Mitchell. Who am I going to get? And so Morey can't get a star. Embiid has no wingman other than Maxey. Sixers start to tumble, and Joel Embiid at this point says, well, damn, do I need to get up out of here? Do I need to force a trade to a team where I can partner up with some guys and win a chip? And it gets really interesting if Paul George stays with the Clippers. Because the Sixers, I've looked at the list, folks. Jimmy Butler ain't signing an extension. He doesn't want to be traded. He's staying with the Heat for one more year, okay? Malik Monk is staying in Sacramento. I don't know that he moves the needle for the Sixers, but he ain't going. So now you're looking at like the second-tier guys. Okay, can we get DeMar DeRozan, KCP, Klay Thompson? Does that do anything? I don't think so. And now, all of a sudden, you start to go down the list of guys and, oh, geez, the phone lines in Philadelphia are lighting up. What's the plan, Morey? What are we doing? And then you get an unhappy Joel Embiid. And I'm just saying, this Paul George situation, really the trickle down around the league. Like if the Warriors don't get Paul George, well, can they keep Klay? Or what if they get Paul George? Where does Klay go? And does Klay go to the Lakers for less money to really stick it to Golden State? Does he say, fine, I'll go to Philadelphia across the country? I don't see that. This weekend is going to be really interesting in the NBA, led, of course, by the Paul George saga. Let's go to Alex Curry with the news.
No.
Clark put up 15 points and 7 assists last night in the Fever's 89-77 loss to the Seattle Storm, despite leading rookies in scoring with 16.2 points per game. And Fever head coach Chrissy Sides wants the first overall pick to take more shots.
Caitlin Clark needs to shoot
a minimum 15 shots a game for us. I mean, she's got to get shots. We've got to do a better job of setting her up and setting some really good screens for her to get her open. You know, the way people guard her, it's tough because she's getting redded. So once the ball's out of her hands, she's setting the rest of our team up for some really great looks. She's getting some pretty good looks when she's off the ball. But, you know, we like her on the ball, so we just got to figure out how to manage the two.
I mean, she is the team. She's doing it all. She's also shooting and scoring. She's leading all rookies in points per game and assists per game. But you also have to wonder, like, is this kind of an out of respect thing because she is a rookie on the team? Is that she's trying to set up her teammates to succeed? But she's not a normal rookie, right? Yeah. She is the chosen one. She is the reason that the WNBA is at the level that it's at right now in terms of attention and media attention. She is the reason that they got charter planes this year, that most of her games are nationally televised. She's selling out arenas. She's getting $1 million deals, breaking records, attendance records everywhere she goes.
I got to be careful here, Alex. I don't think I've ever tried to fire a WNBA coach on air before.
Whoa.
What is this woman doing?
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark needs to shoot more?
She
No,
is.
you got to get her more shots.
Well, also, like,
She's a franchise.
Help.
What are you doing?
She needs help. She is one of the best. She's the best rookie, generational talent on one of the worst teams in the league.
I wouldn't know.
And she's doing it all for this team. Yeah. And we even saw it in the final moments when they were playing Chicago. Like, you would think, Caitlin, take the shot. Passes to a teammate misses a shot. That should be the buzzer beater Caitlin Clark moment, but she's getting double teamed.
Yeah.
Like, she needs help.
I wouldn't know Christy Sides if she delivered a pizza to the studio. So I should not try to assassinate her here. But yeah. I'm just saying, you knew months ago Caitlin Clark was coming to the team. Yeah. You had the number one pick. You had plenty of time to refashion the offense and figure out how to get the franchise the basketball, okay?
Yeah.
Steph Curry has been dealing with double and triple teams for years. Mm-hmm. You know who still gets open and shoots the ball a lot? Oh, Steph Curry, thanks to Steve Kerr in that offense. Hello, whoever you are, coach of the Fever, get your act together. Listen, so my daughter played volleyball.
Yeah.
And one of the kids on the team, the dad is from Indiana, played college basketball. He's heavy WNBA. I'm not going to say his name. He didn't give me permission.
Yeah.
He watches, like, all the games. He watched them last year before they had Clark. And he's been, I'm just telling, this coach is a disaster. She has no idea what she's doing. And you watch the Fever. Yeah. And you're like, oh, the best player on the team took, like, 3 shots in the fourth quarter against Chicago. I don't care if she's double or triple team.
Yeah, you figure out a way.
Get her open. Get her unlocked. This is basic basketball.
I'm also not a fan of a coach throwing your top player under the bus like that.
She's got to shoot more?
Every single, I mean, we're seeing almost every media outlet talk about her. She's getting so much heat. Caitlin Clark is getting so much heat. She should be getting support within her organization and franchise. Support her. Find ways to get her open, as you said, so she can be taking those buzzer beater game-winning shots.
That's going to be the most coveted coaching opening in the maybe WNBA history this offseason when they can this girl. And bring in whoever, because everybody's going to want that job. You're going to have massive exposure. They're going to lead the league in TV games.
Yes, they will.
That's a great coaching. I might throw my hat in the ring. Jeez.
J-Mac.
I coached my daughter to back-to-back youth titles.
That doesn't mean you are qualified to coach in the W.
It's a joke. Come on. All right, Alex Curry with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Well, if you didn't think that was crazy, coming up next, I've looked at the numbers, folks. Brock Purdy, the last 2 seasons, has been a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. That is a fact. That's next here on The Herd.
Herd on the news. This is the Herd Lie News.
Let's talk about someone who also made the move from New York to Philly. Because before signing with the Eagles, Saquon Barkley posted on social media that he never got an offer to come back to the Giants. Well, New York is the subject of HBO's Hard Knocks offseason series, and in the trailer for the show, Giants GM Joe Schoen is shown on the phone saying, Saquon, can you give me your word on that, or are you not going to give us a chance, which seems to kind of contradict Saquon's post. But honestly, J-Mac, I mean, the Giants ruined their chances to get Saquon back, I think, after the situation last year. When he was trying to hold out for more money, they end up paying Daniel Jones, which I'm sure they're regretting now, and didn't pay their best player on the team, who they drafted, who wanted to stay there, who was a homegrown talent. that left a bad taste in his mouth. And regardless, we don't know if they made an offer, what that offer was. But I mean, the writing was on the wall the way last season started and the way this offseason went, because he stuck it to him and went to a rival signing with the Eagles.
Kind of love Saquon for this.
I'm not surprised.
So here's, Alex, you're like an LA homegrown person,
Yeah.
so you have predetermined, you don't like certain teams, okay? So
Yeah.
I was born in New York. I love me the Jets. I picked
Yeah.
the Jets. I like the Yankees. I don't like the Mets. I don't hate them. I just don't like them. I despise the New York Giants. I don't like them at all. I love.
You were happy about this.
I love how embarrassing this is. Hey, last year, we don't want to pay you. We want to pay Daniel Jones.
What do you?
Now they're begging for Saquon on the phone. Please give us a chance,
No.
Saquon. This is so
You
comical.
ruined that. You ruined that last season.
I just love it. I'm going to be rooting a little extra for the Eagles this year, especially. I hope they put it on the Giants. Saquon goes for like 250 yards,
Oh, he's gonna
rushing
go
and
off.
receiving.
You know
he's got the
gonna go
date
off.
circled on the calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
man.
the big one.
I bet you he gets a standing ovation in New York.
He should.
I'm just telling you, Giants are a disaster right now, and I'm
Yeah.
loving every minute of it.
Yeah. Well, let's move to LA, where Justin Herbert and the Chargers will have to work with some new weapons this season after they got rid of Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, as well as letting Austin Eckler and tight end Everett walk. Joshua Palmer is still in LA, and he said things are definitely different without the team's former top weapons. I mean, it is a completely different offense for the Chargers this season. They lost 4 of their 5 top guys, J-Mac. Keenan Allen went to the Bears. Austin Eckler, Commanders. Mike Williams, Jets. Everett went to the Bears. I mean, they did draft the wide receiver lad from Georgia.
Yeah.
But it's a new era with the Chargers and head coach Jim Harbaugh, who is going to be heavy on the run game. They also have a new offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, who used to be the Ravens offensive coordinator from 2019 to 2022. And they signed Gus Edwards, who was a running back for the Ravens, and J.K. Dobbins, who was also a running back for the Ravens. So you have to... There's been a lot of excuses for the Chargers over the years. I mean, Justin Herbert has had how many coaches? 5? 3 different head
At least
coaches
3,
in 4
yeah.
seasons? Like, it's been a lot. Last year they went 5-12, so you have to imagine that there's going to be at least a little bit of an improvement this season.
Oh,
but
definitely.
there's no excuse this year, right? You got the top new head coach that was on the market that's supposed to create a culture, be a game changer. They have a decent start schedule-wise to the season. They're versus the Raiders, at Panthers, at Steelers, versus Chiefs. So you hope you can at least pick
3
up.
and 1.
Yeah, pick up a couple wins before you face the Chiefs.
Coming out of the bye, Broncos, Cardinals,
Yeah.
those are wins. Saints are not good. You said no excuses. You've seen Wedding Crashers, right?
Yeah.
Rule 76, no excuses. Play like a champion.
Yes.
That's what I expect from Harbaugh,
Oh, they have
Herbert,
to.
and, the poo-poo platter of receivers they've got. Because
But they're going to be heavy on the run game. That's what Harbaugh does.
they're going to basically be Ravens West, right?
Yes.
They've got
Well,
a
now
Harbaugh
they have their offensive coordinator.
and a Harbaugh coaching
Yeah.
them. And then they got the 2 running backs. I think this is a good team. I think they're a surprise playoff team. I know the back end of the schedule gets a little tougher, but this is a favorable lineup for them schedule-wise.
It is.
I don't like the early bye, but
I feel like there has been high expectations for Justin Herbert the moment he started playing in the league. And it's like, well, he hasn't had a consistent coach. There's always been, he hasn't gotten along with either with a head coach or offensive coordinator, whatever was happening. Now there is no excuse. There are no excuses. Like, get to work and prove that you are one of the top talents in this league.
yeah. And by the way,
And
the
win.
baby blue Chargers color is like, not that besides me looking really good in baby blue, it's just one of the better jerseys and helmet combos in the league.
Well, I mean, it's also like UCLA vibes. It's very LA.
Yeah.
It's very LA.
Love it.
All right, on to the WNBA, where